Thank you. We are calling the Ways and Means Committee to order at 3 p.m. Let the record reflect that Councilwoman Navarez Martinez has an excused absence today. And so that brings us to our minutes, where I will pass the gavel to Council Member Spatafor.
Hey.
And so I will make a motion to approve the March 19th meeting, March 19th minutes as presented.
It's a proper motion. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. There you go.
All right, thank you. So that brings us to public comment. Do we have any public comment there? Okay, nothing on. Fine. So if anyone comes, we will give them the floor. And now we'll go to our discussion action items. B, resolution, the donation acceptance, Daughtry and Miles Families Appreciation of Services donation for a dive unit. And we have Cheryl here.
Hello.
Hello.
We just received a donation and appreciation for the dive team's participation in a recovery at an incident.
All right. Any questions from committee?
I would move the resolution accepting the donation.
That is a proper motion. Are there any further questions? All right. All in favor? Aye. Oppose? All right, passes. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Absolutely. We are now
Thanks for making the trip.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, I had to say something.
Oh, now we are to item numbers, or letter C, resolution, grant acceptance, Michigan Department of State Police, Emergency Management and Homeland Security Division, State and Local Cybersecurity Grant Program. All of that. We have
Alan.
Yes, that's right. Hello, how are you? Good. Floor is yours. Any additional pieces regarding?
Oh, we're just seeking acceptance of the grant received for the state and local cybersecurity purposes. We have two specific project areas that we're focusing on that we awarded grant money for endpoint protection and for multi-factor authentication.
If we approve this, can I stop having to change my password on 11 devices?
Right.
Actually, yes, part of the goal.
Yeah. Oh, well, I move. Led with that.
All right, thank you. Any other questions from the committee?
Well, that's the only thing I care
All
about.
right, I'll entertain a motion.
That's so moved.
Motion's on the floor. Any further discussion?
No.
Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Opposed, passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh. Moving along, we are at letter D, resolution grant acceptance, Ingham County Housing and Homeless Village for hotel accommodations for unhoused individuals. And we have Ms. Zelda Moses here.
Hi, everybody.
Hello, hello. Floor is yours.
So we are seeking, acceptance of the grant for the additional week stay for the occupants over at Cosby.
And this was
Yep.
the county allocated this money and this paid for an additional 6 weeks.
For those that are actively working on their plans to obtain stable housing.
What is the status of the residents here? Are there still residents at Causeway Bay Undercity?
Yes, we do still have residents there. I think we still have 19 residents there still actively working toward housing.
And what status are they at? Are they in different phases as far as seeking employment or anything like that?
Yes, they are in different phases, but they are actively working on their plans. And we have had some that have actually moved on to housing. So I'm happy about that.
We know roughly how many have moved on to housing?
Well, roughly, I think about 4, but we still have some that are ready with their housing vouchers and they're just waiting.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And did I don't remember the exact numbers. So of the original count of folks who lived there, how many moved out into permanent housing or moved from the hotel to housing?
Well, That's off the top of my head, I know for sure, but I know that there are many that have vouchers and they're just waiting to get in their housing.
There's still no hotel.
Yes.
So have we, there's no problem with the resolution as well. I've got you here. Were there folks successfully transitioned from Causeway Bay into housing during the duration of the program? Do you know how many? You said you don't know off the top of your head.
Yeah, I said about four.
Oh,
About four so
about four,
so
okay.
far. Yeah, but we're anticipating more and soon.
And then the rest just ended up in the shelters or?
Yeah, some had to be transitioned out because they were not actively working on their plans, unfortunately.
Is this potentially a model for the future for a housing program in the city? It felt like it might be if there's a hotel that's willing to partner with the city on something like this, it felt like it might be a reasonable temporary solution for housing, but obviously your team was on the ground. Was it a successful program?
Well, I would say that it has been successful with our team and also the partners. But it has been, utilizing a lot of resources with the partners having to come from their offices because we were bringing everything to the resident. And so that was kind of, it's a lot.
Sure.
It is a lot. So the resources and, things like that. So I don't know, that would have to be something we would have to explore before I can say it could be a potential model.
Sure, but it might be replicable if we figured out the kinks in like the services delivery.
Could be.
All right, I will move the resolution.
That is a motion on the floor. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes. And so we will be moving on to the next resolution, E, grant acceptance, Ingham County homeless millage for Mod Pod's for unhoused individuals. Floor is yours again.
So the 600,000 was for payment for the pods, the purchase of the pods.
Given, Madam Chair,
Yes.
I understand where this comes from and thank the county for sort of backfilling the resources we expended on this. I would like to table this one until, to have it alongside the conversation of the budget, because that was something we're diving into. Monday night was the budget for the Mod Pod program, up to including the operational budget, all that kind of stuff. So I'd like to take this and have the rest of that conversation at City Council. So I move to table it.
That is the proper motion. I accept the table. Any further discussion? None. All those in favor for tabling resolution grant acceptance for Ingham County housing and homeless millage for Mod Pod's for unhoused individuals, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And that is tabled into, so that would be,
Well,
because we have to go through.
if you're waiting for the complete budget, it'll be.
I would like to
tabled
say
until June.
tabled at least until.
You approve
When's
the
our next
budget
meeting?
then
May
in
11th?
May,
May 11th?
third Monday of May.
Next Ways and Means is May 11th.
No, May 7th.
The sex.
Oh. We just started April. So, the next Ways and Means is April 16th.
I would move to table to May 11th. So just to clarify, one friendly amendment.
May 11th is a council.
May
7th.
7th.
Okay. Okay.
Sorry, I was just talking about parking fees on May 11th. So that's the key.
Do I need to make another motion for that amendment?
You
She accepted it.
To accept the
Yeah.
amendment of May 7th.
11.
7th.
7.
7th. The amendment accepted for
May
May 7th.
Too many
move
dates.
that.
Yes.
Too many dates.
Yes, okay. Motion is on the floor with that amendment. Any further discussion?
I hope not.
Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, passes. Thank you. All right, so we're moving on. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
We're moving on to resolution grant acceptance, Department of Housing and Urban Development Lead Hazard Reduction Grant for Lead Safe Housing Phase 5 program. And we have Jamie here.
So the Community Development Office is asking for acceptance for the Lead Hazard Reduction Grant Program. This grant is provided by the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development Office of Lead Hazard Control and Healthy Homes. The total amount awarded is $6,872,347.31. Our office will provide cost share match using CDBG funds in the amount of $687,234.73. The period of performance will be March 2nd, 2026 to March 1, 2030, for a total of 48 months or 4 years. Although the performance period started March 1st or March 2nd, our office will not spend any lead hazard reduction grant funds prior to July 1st of 2026. So as we wait for July 1st, our office has met with the Department of Neighborhoods, Arts, and Citizens Engagement to discuss how we can get the program out into the community. So we will attend the City of Lansing community events. We will advertise in their newsletter and provide brochures. So the fact about lead, if your home was built before 1978, it could contain lead-based paint. Exposure to lead can cause behavioral problems, damage to organs, learning problems, problems with speech and language. So who can apply for the Lead Hazard Reduction Grant Program? Owner-occupied homeowners, rental property owners, and tenants. The units must be within the city limits of Lansing with a child under the age of 6 or a pregnant woman in the home. The lead program is available to low to moderate income occupants. Homeowner occupied income limits must be at 80% area median income. Rental units, at least 50% of the rental units that we do, their area median income must be at least below 50%. So just to give you an example of a 2-person household income of AMI for 50%, they would not be able to exceed $40,350. And $80,000 for a family of 2 could not exceed $64,550 for the year. And our income limits are updated each year. So the other thing I would like to let you know is the Community Development Office is committed to completing 120 units over the 4-year period. We will provide up to 35,000 lead funds and 3,000 CDBG lead match, making the total 38,000 per unit. The funding will be secured by a 3-year commitment with the homeowner and or landlord by signing a promissory note and mortgage. The lien will be forgiven and released when all requirements have been met. And the loan would become due and payable if the homeowner and or landlord vacate, sell, transfer, or assign title to their home.
Thank you. Jamie, do we have a current list of impacted homes that would qualify for this particular?
So we do have an intern in our office that has been looking for within the city limits of Lansing, working on where those homes would be. We also have target areas.
And I know you listed several qualifications. Does this also include those who may be seniors or veterans?
They do have to have a child under the age of 6 and or a pregnant woman in the home.
That's the strict criteria in order to satisfy.
Also a homeowner, if they have visiting children, we would also include that.
Thank you. Any further questions from the committee?
No, thank you.
Right.
Move the resolution.
Proper motion on the floor. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye, opposed, passes. Thank you so much, Jane,
Thank you.
for your time. Is there any other business before the meeting?
Councilmember Cost to the room.
Welcome.
No, just listening and thank you.
All right. Well, with that, then we are adjourned at 3:15.
Right then.